Good evening, class 8, and welcome to bio class. So in the last class we talked about the local defense system and also we had an introduction on immunity. Today we will be discussing about the immune system, the types of immune system and their subtypes. So in the last class we talked about the local defense system. We talked about different mechanical barriers, about mucus secretions and WBCs. Suppose any of these local defense system barriers fail to do their job. Like suppose if there is a cut in a skin, then most probably through the cut the germs could enter inside the body, and when the germs enter inside the body, they are most probable to attack on the tissues, body tissues or cells. So at that time, another type of defense systems comes into play, and that is immune system. So as the germs have now crossed the barrier, assume a situation when the germs have crossed the barriers through the cut in the skin and they have entered into the body. Now as soon they enter, the another thing comes into play, that is immune system. Now if you remember in the last class while I was discussing Bushraria bancrofti, I talked about a fluid that is lymph. So in our body, two type of fluid connective tissue are present. One is blood and other is lymph. Lymph flows through the entire system, that is known as lymphatic system. This lymph and also blood has a germ fighting property. They have certain agents, or you can call them as proteins. These proteins are called as antibodies. These proteins will be released when any germ or any other foreign substance enter into your body. These antibodies are going to bind with that germ or any foreign particle and it will try to destroy it. Similarly, certain toxic substances or toxins are also can be entered into the body in form of liquid or a fluid. So to tackle with them, certain antitoxins are also released from different immune agents, and this antitoxin are going to kill the toxins, and finally it is going to protect our body from any sorts of diseases which we can fall if our immune system does not comes into play. So now how can we define immunity? If you could see in the first line, immunity is the resistance to the onset of a disease after infection by harmful germs. Now the word resistance means that to be unaffected by any external agent or germs. So immunity means that the body acquires the capability of remaining unaffected by the entry of any germs from outside, and it prevent the occurrence of symptoms in the body, because before occurrence of symptoms the immunity makes the body capable enough to fight with the germs as soon as it enter into the body. Or in a more easy way, we can say that immunity is the capacity of a body to fight with or deal with any foreign substances like bacteria, viruses, toxins. Toxins means any poisonous agent that can enter our body, and thus keeping the body in a harmless condition. So it provides resistance against any disease causing germs. That means resistance providing means remaining unaffected by it. Now types of immunity. Immunity is basically classified into two types: innate immunity and acquired immunity. Innate immunity, innate the word itself means inborn, natural or native. That means present since birth. So this type of immunity is present since birth. It is present in our genes. Our genes since birth. Okay. Like suppose suppose take an example, a child is born and the child catches cold. So the child does not die. It is because the immunity is built in its body. He has been born with that immunity. He has been born with the innate immunity. So that immune system in the body will try to fight against the cold virus and it will kill it, and the child will remain unaffected. Innate immunity is also of two types, non-specific and specific. What is the meaning of non-specific? A degree of natural resistance to all infection in general. Means non-specific means common in general. So our innate immunity is that type that it will never be allow us to be affected by any of the other diseases which are present in plants or animals. We are never going to affected by that. Hardly there are any cases where humans have been affected by plant viruses. Few are there, but hardly they get affected by plant viruses or certain animal viruses or germs, any bacteria, etc., any agents. So we are naturally built up in that our body is not going to be affected by plant or animal in general. Next, specific innate immunity. This is natural resistance to a particular kind of germ only. Means now it has become specific, certain type. Like suppose in plant, let me take an example of TMV, tobacco mosaic virus. It is caused by eating lot of tobacco leaves, etc. So there is a virus present in tobacco that is known as tobacco mosaic virus. So our body, we can get affected by that. Okay. But there are certain other diseases also in plants, like the yellowing of the leaves, etc. These are like canker. Different types of diseases are there. So we are not getting those diseases. Only why? Because our body is immune or has developed resistance against that viruses. However, it does not have developed the resistance against TMV virus, tobacco mosaic virus. That's why we are getting affected by that. But we are not getting affected by canker and all, because our body has developed the resistance against it. Similarly, if you see in animals, take an example, here one example is given there, that our body will not get affected by a disease named distemper, which is occurring in dogs. We will never get affected by it because our immune system is natural build up that we are not going to catch it ever in our life, none of the human. Whereas there is another disease in dogs, rabies. When a dog bite, a rabies infected dog bite to us, then we can also catch it. So our body's resistance against distemper, but it is not resistance against rabies. Distemper we are never going to get affected by it, but rabies we are going to affected by it. So our body has developed the natural resistance only against distemper or other canker and all in plant, but not only to certain specific diseases it has developed the resistance. We will not get affected. Now types of immunity. Okay, the next type of immunity is acquired immunity. Innate immunity was the first type. Innate means by birth, janm se hi. Acquired immunity means not by birth, but which has been acquired or adapted during the lifetime. जीवन काल में ही वो हुआ. It was not since birth. जन्म से नहीं था. So the resistance which a body acquire during his lifetime is known as acquired immunity. Resistance means the capacity of a body to remain unaffected by any external agent, any germs. So how this has happened? How the acquired immunity has been developed by a body? Acquired by a body? Two reasons. First one, a previous infection. Now, one thing you keep in mind, take a situation. Imagine a situation that a person has never caught chickenpox. He has never been affected by this disease. So obviously his immune system will be unaware of the disease. Okay, if this type of diseases, they have never fight with this type of diseases. So the immune system will remain unaffected by it, unaware of by it. So when the chickenpox virus enters into your body, the immune cells fails to act against it because they have never seen this virus previously in their life. The first time the person has been affected by it. First time that virus has entered into a body. So he will feel sick. He will feel sick. He will catch the chickenpox. But gradually the immune system will develop the immunity. The immune cells will understand and they will act against this virus, and the person will get well soon. Now next time the same person will not be get affected by the chickenpox, because next time when this chickenpox virus will try to enter into the body, it means try to make a person sick, then the immune cells will remember and they will recognize this, that okay, this was the virus which has harmed the body last time. This time I know how to tackle it, so it will immediately act against it and it will be killed. So you will not catch the disease. You will be healthy. So during the lifetime only it has been acquired, this immunity has been developed. Another way, ready-made antibodies supplied from outside. Like, suppose here one example is given. A person bitten by a poisonous snake, it is on page 169. A person bitten by a poisonous snake is given anti-venom injection, which contains antibodies for the poison that were produced in the body of a horse. See, understand this in this way. What the scientists do, or what the researchers are doing, they are using animals as their object. Suppose they have used a horse, and in that horse they have injected one germ. Okay, they've injected the germ inside the horse, and now the horse antibodies have been developed against that germ. Its immune system will start working on it. Antibody will produce. So the researchers are going to inject that antibody out. They will inject this antibody out from the horse body, and they will use this as anti-venom, means as a poison which could kill the germs of a person who is bitten by a snake. And that means this is produced outside the body, ready-made it is produced. So this is also a type of acquired immunity. Now, innate immunity was of two types, specific and non-specific. Similarly, acquired immunity is also of two types, actively acquired immunity and passively acquired immunity. Now, what do I mean by actively acquired immunity? Let's see it. This is the resistance developed by a body due to a previous infection or antigen which enters his body naturally. Now, if you remember in the previous slide, I told you about previous infection. This is only that if your body has never been affected by any germ like any bacteria, virus, then you will fall ill because your immune cells does not know how to fight against that germ or virus, because they have never encountered with it, they have never faced them. However, the next time again when the same germ tries to enter your body, the immune cells or immune system will recognize it and they will immediately try to kill it. So this is the actively acquired immunity. It can again of two types. One is naturally acquired active immunity. That means it will act against the germs which are naturally going to enter the body through the skin, through the nose, through the any crossing any mechanical barrier, they will try to enter the body. And the second is artificially acquired active immunity. That means anything which has been injected into the body, like any germs that it injected into the body, that has not naturally it was present in the environment, and it has somehow crossed the mechanical barrier and entered into the body. That is natural. But artificial means it has been injected through injections or vaccinations. So in either of the cases, that means as if the germ has entered naturally through mouth, through nose, through any of the barriers it has entered, or either they have injected into the body. In either of the case, how the lymphocyte or the WBCs are acting, we are going to study about this in this slide. So first thing, the first point, they produce antibodies. These lymphocytes are going to produce the antibodies which are circulating, means which are flowing in the along with the blood or lymph, and they are going to bind with the microorganisms, that might be the bacteria or virus or anything that has entered into the body, and it will try to kill it. The second thing is that either the lymphocytes will produce the antibodies, or the second way, they will produce certain cells. These cells are known as killer cells, and these cells have receptors. Receptors means, if you remember, I told you that every germ has a key on his external surface. It's like a key, and the lock of it is there in the killer cells. So these killer cells have certain extension out of their body. These extensions are known as receptors, and these receptors are helping the killer cells to bind with the foreign antigens. Antigens means the chemicals which are present on the surface, outer surface of the germs like bacteria, virus, etc. So they will bind with this. These killer cells have receptors which help it to bind with the antigens, and then after binding it will kill it. So this there is a picture it down. This is a picture of a killer cell. So this way, this actively acquired immunity are usually long lasting, means it lasts for long. It is why it is lasting for long. It is because it works with the mechanism of previous infection. Actively acquired immunity working in the, so previous infection means a second time you are not going to fall for it, as your immune system will recognize that okay, this person has caught chicken pox previously, so now I have understood, I have recognized that the same chicken pox virus is trying to enter. So the immune cell will say, okay, I have recognized it, now I am going to kill it. So there are certain cells in the immune system. These cells are known as memory cells, which keeps a memory of the infections, so that next time when the same disease try to enter into the body, then the immune cells could actively act against it and kill it. So in this slide, two pictures are shown. The first picture, a circle cell is there, immune cell is there, and you can see the Y-shaped structures at the external surface. These Y-shaped structures are the receptors. And the next picture you can see how these receptors are binding with the antigens present on the surface of the germs. So this is how the binding takes place, and after the killer cells, this is a killer cell receptor bind with the germs and antigens, then it grab it and it kill it. The Y-shaped structure is an antibody, and above those structures are the antigens. Antigens are chemicals which are present on the outer surface of a germ's body, maybe a bacteria or a virus. Its body it is present. So how the immune cells recognize the germs? It is because of this antigens. This antibodies, how they recognize, how they will know that okay, this germ, this there is a germ, so I have to kill this germ. This is a germ, I have to kill it. It's because of those antigen. These antibody are going and those are binding with this antigen. They have receptors there with help of which they bind with the antigens, and once they have bound it, then they will kill it. You will see more, you will get a more clear idea to this in the next video. The Now, actively acquired immunity, the immunity was provided from the body itself. The antibodies were provided from the body, inside the body. However, passively acquired immunity is completely different from actively. In this, the immunity is not provided from the body itself. The antibodies are not provided in the body itself, but it is provided from the out. It is injected from out, and some ready-made antibodies are ejected from out. It is of two types. First is naturally acquired passive immunity. In this type of immunity, the ready-made antibodies, we are calling it ready-made because it is provided from outside. It is not formed inside the body. So when a mother is carrying a child in her womb, the small baby which is growing inside the womb, that is known as fetus. So what happens? The mother is connected through a pipe with the child, and this pipe is known as placenta. So through this placenta, the antibodies from the mother's womb, from the mother's body, travels to the child. So the child gets the antibody from the mother, as the child is very small, no, very minute. So his body has not started developing immunity. So to protect itself, the antibodies are coming from the mother's body. The mother is providing the antibody to the child. So as it has come out from the outside in a natural form, that's why it is known as naturally acquired passive immunity. The second is artificially acquired passive immunity. Now, in this type of immunity, antibodies are injected into the body with help of injections or vaccinations. Vaccines are given, no? So, that is the case in this. How this occurs, as I already told you, that suppose an animal has been taken for the experiment. Let's take an animal, horse, or any other animal. I am taking a horse, suppose. So what I will do, I will inject few germs inside the horse body. With help of injection, I will inject it. Now his body will start forming the immunity against that germ. His body start producing antibodies against that germ. Maybe it has first time faced that germs or encountered that germs, so less amount of antibodies will produce, but it will be produced. So when these antibodies are produced in a form of liquid. Blood also have a part known as serum, and inside this serum antibodies are there. So what the researchers are doing, they will inject this serum out from the horse body and they will use this serum as medicines. And when it is injected out from the horse body, it will no more be called as serum, but it will be called as anti-serum. And now this anti-serum can be used to treat different types of diseases. Like now this anti-serum will be injected into a patient's body who has been bitten by a snake. So when this anti-serum will be injected in his body, then this anti-serum will consist of antibodies. So antibodies are directly going to kill the germs and the patient can recover. Similarly, in diphtheria patient also, anti-diphtherial antibodies are injected into the body. It is not formed, the antibodies are not formed inside the body, but from outside it is injected and the patient is recovered. So here a note is given. Haskins Institute in Bombay and another institute is Casalt are preparing several such anti-serum or anti-venin. Anti-venom or anti-venin is an antidote for snake bites. So this is all about the immunity and the kind of immunity. So to avoid or to remove any sorts of confusion, here's a tabular format of the immunity and kinds of immunity has been given here. Immunity basically divided into two main types. One is innate, another is acquired. Again, innate is of two types, non-specific and specific. Acquired is of two main types, active and passive. Active is again of two types, natural and artificial. Again, passive is also of two types, natural and artificial. So you learn in this way in a tabular format. It will be easy for you to remember things, otherwise it will be a lot of confusion. So this is all about today's class, and further we will discuss in the next class.